Hi everyone, it's Tawney. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. I post beauty videos, lifestyle, home, vlogs, mainly beauty videos. This video, we are reviewing the Inglot, I-N-G-L-O-T, Inglot PowerPuff Girls collection. I picked up all of the eyeshadow palettes, 2 of the face, body, and eye highlighters, and 1 of the lipsticks. If you have been on this channel for a time or two, you know that I am very interested in the Powerpuff Girls. I knew that they had come out with some sort of a collection, but I wasn't really sure like what it was. So I checked it out and everything was on sale. I think the palettes were $3 or $4, and then the highlighters were $3 and the lipstick was $3, I believe. And they had every single thing from this collection on sale. So I figured I'd give it a shot, try it out, see how I like it. I'm not really sure how it's going to turn out because I haven't seen any reviews on these products. So I don't know what to expect, but that's kind of the good thing about testing out new products and testing out things that don't really have reviews, because then there's no bias. It's just, if I like it, I like it. We're going to go in first with highlighter because that is the one part of my face that I have not done yet. And I think I'm going to go in with this highlighter. It is the Powerpuff Girls highlighter face, eyes, body illuminator. Doesn't really say what shade or anything. It just says highlighter, no shade, but I think it's the lighter shade. It looks like a baked highlighter, which I'm not really a big fan of. I don't really like those, like those on me. It swatches decently. It's a little bit chunky and glittery, but we're gonna go with it and we're gonna make it work because I want to make these products work. I mainly want the eyeshadows to work. I won't be so upset if the highlighters don't work, but at the same time, I still want them to work. So I'm going to go in with my Morphe M532 brush, tap off the excess, and put that on the high points of my cheeks. It's a little bit gold for me, I think. I'm a little worried that it is showing up a little bit too gold, but it does have a really nice sheen, so I'm very positive about that. It has a good bit of kickback, but nothing horrible, so I'm not mad at it in that way. But I do think it looks really nice on the skin. I used products that I trust today because I wanted, to make sure that this makeup was being put on good products and not on crap. Because I'm not doing a full face of new makeup. I'm just doing these products, this collection. So I wanted to make sure that I could get a decent test, and I'm not sure how long of a wear test it's going to be. This is mainly just to see do I like it on first impressions, because I feel like it's going to be something I'll either like or not like. So that was okay. I'm not sure if I would keep using it, but it does have that nice little sheen to it, so that's a good thing. We're going to use the loose one in a little bit with my eyes. I think I might make that my inner corner and my brow bone highlight. So I got the Team Bliss palette, and you pull it out, and those are the shadows. I was a little bit intrigued by the color choices, and I have to admit that the shadow size is a bit small for what you get, but I think there is a big enough range of colors, so I'm pretty happy with that. They all have different emblems in them, so that's kind of cool. I haven't really watched the new Powerpuff Girls show. I've only ever seen the old one and then the movies that came with it, back from the 90s, early 2000s era. That was my show to watch. That's what people know me for now. That knew me back then, that was I was into Powerpuff Girls. That was everything to me. So I was super excited about the collection. There's a good enough shades that I feel with all 4 palettes and all 12 shadows, I can do a somewhat decent look. I wish there was a black. Not that I would ever use the black, but it'd be nice to have the option. But there is a deep gray in the Buttercup palette, so I am pretty happy with that. So we are going to go in with my Morphe JH37 brush. It's the typical brush I use all the time when I do my makeup. And we're going to go into Super Achiever in the Team Blossom palette. It looks like it has a little bit of a shimmer to it, but not a crazy one. And I'm going to just put that down over my eyeshadow primer. And I'm using the Milani eyeshadow primer because that's the one that I trust the most, the one that I know works well for me. And I wanted to make sure that the shadows would perform well and wouldn't work crappy because I was using a crappy base. So we are going in with that and just making everything more matte and setting that down. Now, I think I might do something with pinks and purples because there's a lot of pinks and purples and blues and not a whole lot of warm tones. The Blossom palette seems to be the most warm tone, and then the rest all seem to be very cool toned, like leaning more cool tone. So I think if you have deeper skin, it might be a little hard to work with these because along with being cool tone, they do look a little bit dusty or on the light side of cool tone. So that's something to keep in mind. So I'm going to go in with the color Sugar Bomb from the Bubbles palette, and I'm going to put that all up in my crease. And I think it looks fairly decent. I think I'm getting a good bit of payoff just from going in, and I don't ever go in harshly. So I'm pretty okay with how this is looking so far and how this is performing. I hope they perform well because I would like to get a good bit of use out of these palettes and be able to use them regularly. I'm not sure if I would want to depot them. I mean, I'm terrible at depotting, so that's kind of like a, like, can I even do it? But maybe put them into a single palette, like a singles palette, but like all together. So then that way I can use them all at once instead of having to get out 4 little miniature palettes. I think the pan size is actually fairly good considering you get 3 shadows with each. Yeah, I had to make sure there were just 3, but yeah, there's just 3. But considering you get 3 in each and there's 4 palettes here, even if you were to only get 1, I feel like it would be decent. I'm not sure the kind of looks you could get. I feel like all of these are ones you need companion palettes for. So like you could use different palettes or you could use all 4 of them together. I picked all 4 up because I was like, well, you have to buy all 3. I don't really know who Bliss is that much. Probably because I haven't watched the show. The new one I just think is a little bit tacky. Cartoon Network has just kind of like gone downhill in the last like 10 years or so. So I'm a little bit like underwhelmed by it all. It kind of like isn't as good as I wanted it to be. So I just haven't really like watched it as often. So I don't really know who Bliss is, but I'm not a fake fan. I'm a real fan. And there was no Bliss in the real one, at least that I don't remember. So now we're going to go in with Strong Soul from the Team Bliss palette. And I'm putting that on the outer part of my crease and blending that in with the Sugar Bomb that I put out there as well. There's a train going by and it's very quiet in my apartment, so you're probably going to hear it, but I moved further away in my new apartment that I'm in. I moved further away from the train crossing, so I don't really hear the train horn quite as much. And it's like not nearly as loud. It doesn't shake the apartment. And like before at my old place, you had to like stop talking and like wait for the train to like get it out of its system before you could like continue your conversation because it was just so loud. And like anytime you had a door or the windows open, it was just like constant noise. And I'm really glad, I mean, for other reasons, I'm really glad I got out of that and I'm now in like a place that's quieter. That was the whole point, was like in case we went into a second lockdown, I would be in a place that was like quiet and peaceful and I could like get my work done and, you know, video chat, call my clients, things like that. And I couldn't have done that in my last place. So, oh, and this is, you know, a message to all of you thinking about moving. If there's any cons at all to your place that you're at now that make you uncomfortable, angry, anxious, sad, depressed, extra emotional than you normally are, move. Like, just gonna straight up move. Like, I'm not one to really say, like, if you're in a bad place in your life, it'll make it better by you moving out. I don't really think that's the case, but I will think it will help your emotional status, like exponentially. Like, I am in such a better place than I was 2 months ago because I moved out of my old apartment. Like, I hated my neighbors. I hated the apartment I was in. It wasn't built very well, so it had some issues there. I'm noticing the purple's a little bit hard to add in, but it's not like that big of an issue. But just to keep that in mind, if you were wanting to do the purple like as the main color, that it might be a little hard to like get any color payoff out of it. But my apartment was just like, there were so many things wrong with it, so many things I didn't like about it. My landlords weren't very nice, and like, you can't be in a place that doesn't make you happy. And I was not happy, and now I am happy. And now I'm doing makeup because that makes me happy too. Today was a weird day. I was kind of anxious because I was told at work that somebody wants to talk to me tomorrow. And it could be over nothing, but I have a feeling I'm going to get yelled at for not following certain rules at work. But, which is my fault. But, you know, it is what it is. Now I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild Bretman Rock brush. It's the pointier blending looking brush. And I'm going to go with Happy Go Lucky and put that on my inner and then kind of like blend outward, if that makes sense. Kind of like an eyeliner type thing. But yeah, I was told that someone wanted to talk to me, and I have a feeling I might get like not yelled at, but just kind of like reprimanded. And I don't like getting yelled at all. I was never the bad kid in school, so I'm kind of a little worried about that. But, you know, we'll see what happens when I get to work tomorrow. But it's going to bother me all night. So that's kind of not a good thing. But then it's like, there's nothing I can do about it tonight, so I need to stop worrying about it. Okay, this blue doesn't look terrible, but it's meshing in with that purple and pink. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Colors, especially blues and greens, don't look that great on me. I like never seem to make them work or look good. And that stinks because I want to be one of those people that can do that, but I am just not. Oh, and Happy Go Lucky is in the Teen Bubbles palette, by the way. Okay, I think this is helping make it a little bit more purple, more indigo-esque, so that's a good thing. Okay, yeah, I am now liking the way it looks. I feel like it's looking better now. This isn't the type of look I usually go for, but I am here for it. And I'm actually going to run that color along the inner part of my lower lash line, along, well, the outer corner area, so it kind of like blends in. And then I'm gonna go with another color further inward. The blue is very pastel-y, very like light. So if you don't like that kind of a blue, it's not very vibrant-y. So if you don't like that color blue, then like be warned, you know? Gonna make that a little bit more blue on that side. I've started doing this thing where I'm like, when I do my eyeshadow, and I hate it because then it looks weird, but it helps make my makeup look decent, or at least like make the application process easier on me. So I just do it. I mean, if you're not looking funny while you're doing your makeup, you're not even doing it right, you know? Like, now I'm going to go in with that loose highlighter. It comes with the cutest little pad thing, but I don't use those, so I'm going to set it aside. And then it has that tape across it. So I'm going to try and pick that off. Okay, I got it pulled away. I think, yeah, okay, I got it. We're in. Okay. So now I'm just going to dump some out into the cap. This is what it looks like in the cap, very pretty. And I'm going to go in with my Makeup Academy crease brush. It's the 315 brush. Very glittery, but I'm not mad at it. This might look good on like the shoulder area. And I'm going to put that in my inner corner. Wow, that is nice. Look at that glow. Whew, I like that. Wasn't expecting to look like that this late in the evening, but you know, because it's 6 o'clock right now. And I'm going to put that... Oh, yeah, I like this. I'm not sure how I'd feel about it on the cheekbones because it's so glittery, but it does look good, like, with the eyes. So I would definitely recommend it on the eyes. And let's somewhat attempt to dump it back into the cap so we don't make quite as much of a mess whenever I put it away. Now I'm going to go in with Electric Vibe with my Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH33 brush. And I'm going to hope this works. I'm going to dig into it a good bit. And then we're going to put that all on this part of the lid underneath the pink and mixing into that blue. It's not quite as bright blue as it looks in the pan. This is from the Team Bliss palette. So I'm a little bit like bummed about that, but it could be worse. But it does have that nice bit of a sheen to it. So it's not that terrible, you know? It could be worse. if that's the whole thing of this collection, then that's not great. Like, could be worse, but it could be better at the same time. Like right now, I would give it about like a 7 out of 10, just because I feel like there's room for improvement. But at the same time, like, I still like it, you know? I could definitely see myself reaching for these more, mainly if I were to do colorful eye looks, because then I feel like this would definitely like fit the bill. Now I'm actually going to go in with the same brush on the other side, and I'm going to go in with the shade Power Punch from the Team Buttercup palette, because I want to use all the palettes, even though I only used one as a crease shade, you know, like an all over shade. And I'm going to put that on the inner part to kind of blend into that highlight, since this color is a green, and have that blend into that other shade. And I think that creates like a nice variation. Not that you can really see that much of it, because the blue is showing up more green than I was expecting. So whenever I blend, it like doesn't really look like I'm blending much. Like they just look so similar. But I do think it looks nice. So now we're going to go back in the Wet n Wild and Bretman Rock brush, and I'm going to go in with Electro Vibe again and put that on the lower lash line and have that go from the corner to the outer corner. And it's not really showing up quite as bright. That color I definitely am like not that big of a fan of. The blues in here just seem to be very lackluster. It doesn't look terrible, but it's like not giving me what I want. Yeah, like it's not bad, but it's not like amazing either. Okay, so then the last thing we have to use is the lipstick, and I picked up the red one because doesn't that go great with the lipstick, the eye color that I did? And this is the Super Fierce lipstick. It is the Blossom lipstick. And it looks like this. It's pretty small, but I feel like that's like not that big of a problem because I don't really see myself like using the whole thing. You know what I mean? Okay, it is very pigmented upon first application. That's a good thing. And it smells really good too. Yeah, it smells really good. So that's a good thing. And it goes down matte. This is like a really nice lipstick. I would definitely use this again. Like it is definitely something I like really am interested in. I'm going to set my face and then put on some mascara and then we will be done. I'm using the L'Oreal Air Volume Mega Mascara. It's one that I recently got and I'm still like working out, seeing how I like it. So far, so good. Has a little bit of fallout and like where it crumbles under your eye, but nothing like major. Just a little bit more than like what I'm used to, which that's not really good, but it's not enough to like make me hate it. Okay, and this is the finished look. I'm a little bit like, not sure how I feel about it since that blue came out very green. I mean, you can't really tell because I added the green to it to give it more of that like switch it up a little bit. I'm not totally mad at it, but at the same time, I'm a little bit like, I wanted a little bit more out of it. I really like the lipstick, and the highlighter on the cheeks looks really nice, so I definitely will probably be using that again. And I do like the loose highlighter that I put on the inner corner. I think that looks really pretty. I would definitely stick to using it on the eyes since it's a little bit more glittery, and maybe like on my collarbone, on my, you know, shoulders, in the body area where I want it to look a little bit more like flashy, especially like come summer. But the eyeshadows I was a little underwhelmed by. I didn't care for any of the blues. I just thought that they like didn't perform that well. The purple, A Strong Soul, was just kind of like meh, but I really did like the palettes as a whole. I think it's a nice collection, and I think they did try. I'm not sure like how good Inglot's regular performance of their eyeshadow palette quality is, but I will say this was a decent collection, and I'm not entirely mad at it. I would give it probably a 7 out of 10 overall, because I feel like the eyeshadow palettes needed more improvement, and I wish they would have had a little bit more to the collection, but they did have more highlighters, the loose and the pressed ones, as well as more lipsticks, and I believe they had lip glosses, but I don't usually do lip glosses, so I just didn't pick any up. But they definitely had more to pick from. I will post a link to the whole collection down below in the description box if you guys are interested in checking them out. This video is not sponsored. This is just a diehard Powerpuff Girl fan checking out some new products and seeing how I feel about them. I will definitely be using these more in the future, so maybe you'll see them more in other videos. Who knows? Maybe I'll do another video using different colors. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell down below so you get notified when my videos get posted. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!